Hey, it's Julia from CityCast Portland. When I'm not producing the show, you'll find me watching live music all around town with a beer in my hand. So McMenamin's Grand Lodge second annual Brewfest is just my speed. They have some of the region's best beverages from McMenamin's and beyond, and are hosting killer local bands for only $30 a ticket. Saturday, June 1st in Forest Grove, they'll be serving over 40 taps of beer and cider, plus wine, spirits, and cocktails. And you can see sets from Federale, the Chivas, and Rosalinda. So if you're 21 and older, go buy your ticket at mcmenamins.com right now. You're not going to want to miss it.
Did you know that in the Portland area alone, we have something like nearly 40 farmers markets happening every week? But you might ask yourself, where are they? Which are the best for what? And what are the unspoken rules I might be breaking? Because yeah, there are rules. So today on CityCast Portland, we're revisiting a conversation I had with Molly Notarianni. Last name sound familiar? She's John, our executive producer's big sister. And as the former executive director of the Oregon Farmers Market Fund, she's been in the farm to market business for nearly 20 years. So yeah, she's got some insider tips on how to get the most out of this farmers market season. It's Monday, May 20th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Welcome, Molly. I've heard a lot about you and your outdoor sauna from John. He's a big fan. Before we jump in, could you just answer why someone should shop at a farmer's market over going to, say, like a local grocery store?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think there are so many reasons. And the number one reason is that, it's just more fun. Do you want to go walk around Freddy's, or do you want to be at a farmer's market? I think, when you're going to a farmer's market, you're buying directly from the person who grew or who made or who produced your food. And so that has a ton of benefits. It's going to be a lot fresher. Usually things at farmer's markets are like a day at most after harvest, and at grocery stores, it's like 13 plus days. So you think of those clamshells of salad greens you get that just turn to goo. I feel like you don't have that at farmers markets. You're also there's no middle person. So 100% of the money you're spending is going directly to these farmers, these small food artisans. Whereas at a grocery store, it's maybe 15 cents on the dollar. There are certain things that maybe are too fragile to ship across the country that have a really small growing season, or maybe it's a new food business that is just growing on making a special product on a small scale. And so they haven't been picked up by stores yet. And then you can have these conversations with the people who are making your food. So you might see a vegetable you've never seen before and be like, dude, what's the deal? How do you cook that? And kind of get some good tips. And within all of that, I want to say it's a both and. We can do it all. You don't have to drop everything and start spending all of your money at farmers markets. You can try a little bit and build it into your routine.
Yeah. Molly, I asked that question just for the person out there that's like, why farmers markets? Because I was already sold, but you kind of sold me even more.
Yeah.
Every time I was like, yeah. The asking the vendor, how do I cook this or what do I do with this? I find kind of amazing, because everything's in season, and sometimes you're just I don't know what a rutabaga is, or I don't know what this weird looking radish, amazing, but weird looking radish.
So weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just wonderful to have someone to be well, this is how you do it. I wanted to ask you something. I know that you've worked, in Portland managing farmers markets. So is it controversial to ask you which Portland area farmers markets are your personal favorites? They know your face. Will you get banned if you don't say their name? Because I'm just curious, what's Molly's, picks?
Yeah. I'm going to give you a few different markets and a few different categories. I feel like it is totally controversial, and that's why I'm here. So stir the pot.
Maybe we'll just blur your voice. So it's
well, I think a lot of things, in some ways, the best farmer's market is the one that is the closest to you, or the easiest to get to, or the time of day and day of week it is that works with your schedule, right? So thankfully in the Portland area, we have a bunch of different farmers markets in different locations on different days. So I think if you want a kind of traditional weekend market, so like a Saturday or a Sunday. Two that I really love are the Hollywood Farmers Market in Hollywood in the Northeast. That's like this really just kind of what you think of as a farmer's market. There's, kids running around. There's like an old dude playing the guitar. There's, lots of different vendors, I think, who you often can't find at other farmers markets, which is not always the case. And just like really feels like at the heart of that community. The Montavilla Market in Montavilla in Southeast Portland on Sunday mornings is also really lovely. It opens at 10. So if you want to sleep in a little bit, you don't have to be like one of those people who gets up at the crack of dawn. And also just like an awesome mix of vendors. The Come Through Farmers Market, which is every other Monday in the afternoons at the Red in the Southeast, has like the best vibe of any farmers market. So it's Portland's only Black and Brown and Indigenous run farmers market, and really supports those businesses and those communities. So like they have a resident DJ, they have a free table. And, the market is really designed to be an incubator to support these businesses and kind of help these Black and Brown, farmers and food artisans kind of develop their businesses. So that's really rad. If you want a weekday market, I think that the Szymanski Park Farmers Market downtown is like on the park blocks. It's in the trees. It's shady. It's beautiful. There's like a guy with a wood-fired pizza.
Ooh.
Yeah, get the little vegetables and put it on the pizza. So that's fun. And then let's see. I think if you want to go out of town, because, the metro area is big, I would recommend on the east side, the Oregon City Farmers Market is fantastic and also very, very big. Lots of different things. Highly recommended. On the west side, the Forest Grove Farmers Market is run by Adelante Mujeres and is just this fantastic incubator that the nonprofit helps support Latinx businesses, farmers, and hot food vendors. So that's really special. And to wrap it all up, I will shout out the Cully Farmers Market, my neighborhood farmers market, which is coming back in 2023. It's just like a short walk from my house and just so nice to like stroll about, get some food.
I love the Cully Farmers Market, but I also find it interesting because I feel like most people that I know in Cully have like their small urban little farm on their lot anyhow. There are like so many farmers markets, but there are certain farmers markets that are known for very specific vendors because they're not just selling like lettuce and apples. Like they're selling like this amazing lavender honey, and it's all these specific people, even like food trucks where you're just like, you can only get this burrito here or whatever. So like I know people who make a special trip to the King Farmers Market to visit who they call the Blueberry Lady.
Oh yeah,
because they think her blueberries are the best in town. They also are just like, and she's spicy, like she's like they kind of like having her tell them off in a weird way, like you're standing too close to the blueberries. But I was wondering if you could give us some tips like of your favorite vendors and like where they are, like which markets are known for what.
Yes, let me just give you a few. And I feel like this is also like farmers markets are dynamic. They're always changing. If the Blueberry Lady is probably only at the market for like 6 weeks when it's blueberry season. So I'll give you a taste. One of the vendors that I love, and this is like just to Portland, is there's a vendor called Squirrel and Crow that makes soy-free tempeh. I don't know if you've ever had fresh tempeh.
I've never had fresh tempeh.
It's just so good. It's fantastic. It's like a different taste and a texture. It's so good. Mm-hmm. And they go to the Hollywood Market. It's made of like millet and chickpeas and like.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
I love tempeh.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got to do it. It's so good. At the Woodstock Market, there are two vendors that I love. One of them is called Alamin. It's Somali hot food. And they make these things called sambusas that are kind of like a samosa, but they have like dal inside of them. And there's this like spicy, like hot sauce that you dip them in. They are just like the best breakfast. And they also have a knife sharpener.
What?
It's amazing. You just like go to the market, you bring your knives. He was a samurai. He was on like some reality TV show about making knives. And he just sharpens them at market.
Wait, what's his name?
Dragonfly Forge. His name is Gabe.
I wish that all like farmers markets had knife sharpeners because I'm so lazy with sharpening mine.
It makes such a big difference.
And it's also just would be so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sold on that one.
Yes.
Anything else, Molly?
Let's see. The Montavilla Market has a kulfi business. So it's an Indian popsicle.
Popsicles are perfect for this weather.
Yeah, and they just come in these wonderful flavors. There's like pistachio and rose and then like local fruits.
That sounds awesome. I've never heard of that. Now I want it.
I think it's called Coolfee PDX is the business. Yes, 10 out of 10.
All right, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, financial assistance programs that will help you shop at farmers markets.
Hey, it's John from CityCast Portland. It can be hard to check all the boxes on a family vacation. You need to find some fun stuff to do and keep the kids entertained, and maybe, hopefully, you and your partner can relax a little bit too. Well, you should check out Salishan Coastal Lodge by SCP Hotels. Salishan is the perfect destination for the whole family, with over 200 acres of coastal playground, all surrounded by old-growth timber and seaside bluffs. You can relax with daily complimentary yoga or a visit to Salishan Golf Links, designed by Oregon golf legend Peter Jacobson. And the kids can tackle a zip line at the only aerial park on the Oregon coast. Plus, they have dog-friendly accommodations with miles of trails on the property and a daily yappy hour with refreshments for both the humans and the pups. Right now, you can book a long weekend retreat to the Oregon coast and save 20% on your stay of 3 nights or more. Visit salishan.com/offers to book your stay at the Salishan Coastal Lodge by SCP Hotels today.
Two-time RuPaul's Drag Race winner Jinx Monsoon's star is burning bright. She made her Broadway debut as Mama Morton in Chicago last year, and now she's starring with her musical partner Major Scales in a limited 3-week engagement at the Seattle Rep in the show Together Again. Here's the scene. The sun has exploded and the world has been taken over by aliens. Jinx and Major aren't on the best of terms, tension, but they decide to put their falling out behind them for a final reunion extravaganza. Take a weekend trip up to Seattle and experience the comedy, music, and saucy stylings of 2 of the Pacific Northwest's most captivating entertainers. Catch Jinx Monsoon and Major Scales in Together Again at Seattle Rep, May 31st through June 23rd. Get tickets at seattlerep.org, and if you stay at the Maxwell Hotel, you can get a 50% discount on your parking when you book through their website and use the promo code SeattleRep. So for those who are listening, are like, yeah, farmers markets are rad. They could be expensive, because it's not like a supermarket that's buying at bulk.
Yeah.
So sometimes you are paying 50 cents, sometimes 75 cents more for certain things. And it adds up. So I know at one point you were the director of the Farmers Market Fund that worked on the SNAP matching program. And that's Oregon's food stamp program for those not familiar with SNAP. Are there other financial assistance programs for shoppers who might be cash strapped but still want the fun of shopping at a farmer's market?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that program called Double Up Food Bucks, which is a SNAP matching program, is going to be a great way to go. So for anyone who's on SNAP, they provide a dollar for dollar match up to $20 every day. And you can just go to your farmer's market and get twice as much produce. So that's fantastic.
That's so cool.
It's so rad.
That is amazing. Right? Okay, go on.
Yeah. It is amazing. It's so amazing. And that's just money that's also going, you're getting free fruits and veggies, and then farmers are making all this extra money. So it's this beautiful, beautiful cycle. But yeah, if you are receiving WIC, or if you're a senior, there's a program called the Farm Direct Nutrition Program. We love our acronyms. And it's a series of vouchers you can get where you can get free fruits and veggies at area farmers markets. And that's run through the Oregon Health Authority. A lot of farmers, so this is where, those are kind of the programs that happen everywhere, but then this is where farmers markets start to become these hyper local projects that really support their communities and kind of see what the needs are. So some of them have matches for vets. Some of them have programs called Power of Produce or POP programs. So if kids are going to farmers markets, they get little tokens where they can basically buy their own fruits and veggies at the farmers market, kind of to get them to, learn about shopping for themselves and eating fresh produce.
So people should probably go on the website of whatever farmers market they're going to go and just see if there's any kind of program that they could tap into.
Totally.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I think the other thing is, like as a shopper for anybody, like the ways to kind of stretch your money the farthest would be like buy stuff when it's in the peak of the season. So if you're buying like the first pint of strawberries that's at market, you might be so excited to finally see strawberries again. But like those will probably be at a premium because it's in limited quantity. But if you wait till the middle of the season when there's like tons and tons of tomatoes, you could probably get like a big box of tomatoes for much less.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. I'm the one that buys the strawberries for like $10. That's a good, like, because you've also worked at farms, so you know this. I'm like, this is like, I'm sorry. I hope everyone's writing this down. This is not common sense for most people. And this is an important question. For someone who's maybe not familiar with shopping at like farmers markets, like at all, like, could you share some etiquette or kind of unspoken ground rules for not annoying vendors and other shoppers? Because I know right off the bat, you shouldn't be manhandling the produce like you do at grocery stores. I feel like grocery stores allowed us to just be like wild animals with produce. Because even if you don't think you are totally bruising certain fruit, and that makes it harder for the vendor to sell it to the next person. I've been told, I mean, not yelled at, but been told that you touch with your eyes.
Yes, or like opening every ear of corn to see if like it's good inside.
Don't do that. Are there other like little, just etiquette that, with your vast experience in farms and farmers markets that you would pass on?
Totally. So I think the first thing that I like to do when I'm going to a farmer's market that either I haven't been to before or I have been to is like, I feel like my inclination is to just get snazzled by stuff and want to start buying. But I try to do like a round and a walkabout before I start, because inevitably you're going to find something, right after you bought your strawberries, someone has them for cheaper or they look better or it's a bigger box, something that's more aligned to what you want. So I think starting out by like getting your cup of coffee, doing your little stroll around, I think is a good way to start. Bring cash. I think at this point we live in this cashless economy, but just like it's nice to tip your servers with cash, I think that if you do have cash, I mean, most vendors at most farmers markets are able to, have their little square, but I think if you have cash, that is appreciated. And just to kind of realize that you are not at a grocery store and to have a bit more of like a creative spirit and a flexibility and understanding that things might look a little bit different than what, you're finding where literally things have to be grown so they like stack perfectly.
Right.
I think a few things that as a farmer at farmers markets used to kind of drive me crazy.
Ooh, I can't wait. Gone.
Don't go like the last minute that the market is open and try to get stuff for free.
Oh, that happens?
All the time. They're like, oh, it looks like you're just going to take that home and compost it. Let me help you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like those, it's up to those farmers. They might make jam out of it. They might take it to the market tomorrow. They might, there's this really cool thing that happens when you're a vendor at a farmer's market where everyone trades with each other with whatever they have left at the end of the day. And so like, maybe they wanted to take their bunches of kale and like get a burrito, Don't just, just don't do it.
Yeah, that's so tacky. Yeah.
I think there can be this, on both ends. Sometimes like farmers markets start early. And so you look at your watch and you're like, oh shit, it's 2 p.m. I got to race to the market and it's almost closed. Or on the other hand, you just like can't wait to get your asparagus. And so you get there early. I think if you can, trying to not shop before it's opened or not try to shop after it's closed is like a really kind thing to do, because people are either, racing to get their stuff set up before the starting time, or they're just like tired as can be and want to pack up and drive 3 hours home. So that's a nice thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like be mindful of your dogs.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yes.
Yeah. Like it's a nice place to have a dog. And also it's a grocery store that's crowded outside. So just have some self-awareness if you are a person who takes your dog to the farmer's market.
Yeah, these are all excellent. I feel like I'm the one that sometimes comes in like really late and I'm just like, hello. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably really annoying. Not asking for free stuff, but just like wanting to get my shop.
I'm here.
So it's like, they're like, congratulations. Well, I just want to thank you profusely for spending your morning with us. Really appreciate it. It's seriously, I've been wanting to meet you for ever since, John said that he had a sister and she lived in Portland. I was like, what? Bring her here. So this is really exciting. Thank you so much, Molly.
Oh, thank you so much. It was such a treat. Yeah, my pleasure.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. It really does help us out. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.